guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dutch 020, and for the ones with the sharp eye, as you can see, Dutch DRS is the new team name. Yes guys, Dutch Active has ceased and desist, and we now have revived as Dutch DRS, and we will be now becoming the #1 Dutch team, and also will be having the ambition to becoming the #1 team of this game. We have a lot of great players coming in, a lot of great players already have arrived, and trust me, we have the knowledge to start off. So we're just warming up, and next season, trust me, Dutch DRS will be a household name. For all of you who are watching my videos, thank you still for watching, and trust me, all you guys will still gain and drive with me. So let's go today for the first race.
And it's lights out and away we go!
First race, Melbourne, coming up. This week Ricciardo has the 10% advantage, but has already had a few of my first normal Grand Slam races against bots, that Ricciardo never had qualifying before me. So I am driving with Max and with Lewis this week, and of course with the rainy races we will do Norris with Lewis. Alright guys, our first opponent has a very low team score, unfortunate for him, so let's hope for him he will have... that we will have a bot opponent, of course, because we will never hope for a guy that he has a real opponent like me at this moment. P1 and P2 doing fine. Our opponent at P11 and P14, so again let's hope for him he will have a bot and not a real opponent. We're still going with good boosts, we're not taking any chances today. And as I can see, our opponent is still selecting boost. Man, that's unfortunate for him, guys. And the Taurus on our second driver, man, that's unfortunate for him. We're gonna wish him the best of luck. Too bad, and again, a best of luck. Let's hope he will have a very good start. He crossing the P10 now almost with both of his drivers. We're gonna push here with the Taurus. Wow, look at that, guys. Our opponent is still wishing us a good luck, even though he has such a bad matchup. Man, I feel bad for this guy. We're really gonna... Let's hope for him. Let's hope for him. His Verstappen doing good. His Verstappen already at P6 with the frost boost, as I can see correctly indeed. His Ricciardo at P11 with the medium tire, but on, of course, the Taurus boost. So if he can maintain a little bit with the McLaren drivers at P10 and P9 at this moment, he will maintain. He's driving very slowly with Ricciardo. He should keep up with that pace, otherwise he will fall back. Yes, of course, you can do many laps now on the medium / the Taurus boost, but if you can already do 5, you're already solid and you can still push the pace a little. Let's see it, guys. Our drivers are really flying away. We're still on a normal strategy with both drivers, so now we're going to push a little bit for Verstappen over here. A 2-stop strategy for both of the gentlemen. And as you can see, maybe I am driving a little bit weird, like with the Taurus. Of course, you can do easily 5 laps. We're not today. We're gonna fly away, because that's also the motto of our new team. We're flying to those points, guys. No chances, no risks. Here we go, beautiful pit stop. Here we go with Verstappen. As you can see, easily can do another lap. But as you can see, the drivers behind us also on the soft until now, where George Russell will approach us at P3. I also have to say, guys, I do have a lot on my mind today because of forming of the new team. So again, hereby, if my concentration is a little bit lacking or the voice in the commentary, I am sorry for that. There's a lot of adrenaline coursing through my veins at the moment of time. Let's push with Verstappen here, because as we can see, we have a lot of fuel left over. The first 3 to 4 laps, we really cooled down with Verstappen, and now we can easily push. We're already going to do our pit stop for Hamilton, because he can do easily 3 laps on the softs. And for that, because as you can see, the fuel on Hamilton is draining. So after this pit stop, he won't have the sources anymore to fully push, which Verstappen does. So that's why we're going to do now a different strategy. And there we go, Hamilton into the pit lane. Our opponent is now with both of his drivers in the top 10, as we can see. His Ricciardo will probably maintain after his pit stop. Let's see what the drivers 10 and 11 will do. I hope for him he will have a very quick pit stop and he won't get behind number P11, because those are on the hard tire. And as we all know, at Melbourne it's not easy to overtake, especially when you're on that hard tire, guys. So let's hope for him he's now off. Too bad, he's behind him. He's still on the soft, so he has a good chance of good overtaking. Almost forgot Verstappen over there because I was so focused with my opponent. But easily we can make this mistake. As you can see, we have a lot of space. And even if it would happen, we have Hamilton to block our number 3 opponent. But as we can see, also the bot had went into the pits. We have a lot of space with Verstappen. And as we can see, we're now crossing the 0% on this tire. We're going to full force into the pits. We have enough fuel to do so. Again, guys, I'm here about talking about mistakes, and during the talk I made one. Stay fully focused again if you're doing your own races today, guys. Alright, guys, now Verstappen made it into the pit. Hamilton, of course, now crossing at P1. Our Dutch pride is a little bit wrinkled over here, so we do want to watch get Verstappen to P1. Let's see if we can do that. Our opponent now doing very good. He's now with both of his drivers into the top 10. Let's hope he can get also the P5. It's very difficult there in that corner, but he did well. He had the better line very well. His Verstappen now into P5. Let's hope his Ricciardo can do now the same. A well done, because trust me, guys, outside the top 10 and then with both drivers to drive into the top 10, he did well. We're wishing him the best of luck. And Verstappen up to P4 and Ricciardo up to P6. He did very well. We wish him the best of luck. Good luck, Berger. You have an awesome movie choice, as we can see, of your team selection with Marvel. Yes, guys, no surprise, I am a huge Marvel / Star Wars nerd. Alright, guys, 47 points to the pocket for the first race.
And it's lights out and away we go!
Second race, Mexico City, Mexico. Wonderful track again for your tire management, guys. This is again a track where you want to use your fuel to your maximum advantage. The instinct boost is one of my favorites if I'm starting up to the front, and of course the dead fast or the eclipse boost. If you're starting a little bit midfield, downforce, Jin, wonderful boost as well to go up to the upper field. Our second opponent's matchmaking will be Damien from F1 Poland. Our higher team score than our first opponent, but still not a team score to, let's say, threaten us to take away a point from us. So let's have a good selection of boosts, a good start, and let's fly to the 47 points, guys. Dry weather, 13 degrees Celsius, should be a fast lap for both of my drivers. Indeed, a P1 and P2. His drivers still have P5 and P8, so we still have to put on our fully focus here. We're gonna put dead fast on Max to fly away, and Hamilton behind him on the downforce boost. Our opponent was already very quick ready, so I do believe we have matched with a bot for the second race. And as we can see above his tire selection, it probably is. Indeed, guys, we have a race versus bot, so this will not be a race for excitement or for cool video footage, but let's talk through the race, guys, because as you can see with both of my drivers, I'm onto the soft tire. Both of my drivers are initially on a one-stop strategy with 4 laps on the softs and then with 4 laps on the medium tire, because the first laps, as I always say, is difficult to overtake. So the first laps usually you want to put with the softs, so you can easily maintain with the rest if you're up front, and then of course stay ahead, make your pit stop and fly away another tire. Henceforth, like our bot opponent now at P7 with the soft tire, is not the choice that I would personally make, because if you put up the risk in the first corner not to be at P6 or P5 even, and you be like P7 or maybe even P8 if you had a bad first corner, you're dead in the water, because then you're not moving up into the field as fast as you want to, because later on the race, again, taking over other cars will be much more easy. So also with me, as am I saving my fuel up for now, it's as smart. There's no opposing threat. I can fly away with Verstappen anytime I like. And if the moment now arises that my opponent will be at P3, I have the fuel and the tires to fly away and do so. So as you can see, there's no threat behind me, so I'm having an easy race. And now we're gonna push a little bit because we're crossing the first pit stop. As we can see now, Verstappen will do a quick lap. And as I said, we're going to the medium tire. The downforce boost, however, as you can see, has a lot more track and grip advantage. So as you can see with Lewis, he has a much more probability to do 4 or 5 laps. And Hamilton, as we can see, we can push with him, but nonetheless we can do easily one more lap. And as we will do so, 5 laps on the softs, and to finish up with 3 laps on the softs with the downforce boost on the maxed up Hamilton, you can 3 laps easily push. Wonderful track to do so. Again, guys, if you're midfield and you want to drive upwards the field, maintain your tires, maintain your fuel, save it up for after the first pit stop, and you will have a much better and quicker race, of course. Again, guys, I'm doing my best, of course, to post these videos as soon as I can. A lot, of course, is a little bit for commentary and enjoyment, but of course the most important thing for you guys is to look of my mistakes, to look up the tricks, and of course the information. So if you guys need information before my video has come out and you want to do your Grand Prix races already, please contact me on Discord or try to DM me here at YouTube, and I will respond as soon as I can. At the meanwhile, as we can see, we have a easygoing race. Verstappen flying away here on the dead fast boost. Hamilton now on the soft boost, closing in midfield, and our bot opponent now closing in at 3 and 6. Again, an easy race, guys. Nothing to show for again. We're waiting until the finish line, and then let's see if we can pull again a perfect 188 like last week. Man, last week, guys, was horrible for me. The Wednesday again was flawless. Saturday I made 2 small mistakes. 1 small judgment mistake could have happened to everybody. I expected rain with 29% of chance of rain. Unfortunately, it didn't came, so Norris was P7 at Canada. If I had selected Verstappen in that race, I would surely be 1 and 2. And after race 7 was, of course, rainy conditions at Sao Paulo. I forgot to reset Norris, and then for again the last race he was at P7 at Melbourne against a real opponent, which cost me again points. So guys, of course nothing is flawless and perfect, but last week really that #1 medal was in my grasp, because if I had a good Saturday I would have been #1. So that also gives me a lot of motivation and a lot more fresh joy, because there was a long time where I was like, am I getting that top 3 or even that top 1 medal? But then the top 3 medal came, and now that #1 medal is in our sights. And of course, guys, I will take you in there with my videos. Alright guys, I'm going to take a small breather over here, be right back, but as usually the video will continue.
And it's lights out and away we go!
Alright guys, race 3 coming up. We have a wet race at USA Austin. Henceforth we put Norris into the seat of Verstappen, and he will have a little breather during this 3rd race. Alright guys, the first half of the day was flawless. Let's see if we can do another flawless 2 races. Matchmaking taking a little bit of a longer time, so that means we have a 50-50 chance of a real opponent / bot. Again, with Hamilton and Norris in the seat with the right boost, we are gonna fly off. Our opponent, again, as we can see, very well won, has a very nice track record with his medals. Henceforth to see on his medals, and that I don't know him, will be a bot opponent, because he will probably drive in a different division than myself. Norris at P1, Hamilton at P4. P4, so we're gonna do, of course, the most important boost on Hamilton. At this moment, that will be Eclipse, because we can see the taking over will be ×3, and he will have a 5 times advantage on the speed. Norris will fly away on the dead fast, and our opponent already was very quick in his setup, so I do believe we have a opponent, and yes, we do. Our opponent on the medium and onto the hard tire, so he will oppose no threat whatsoever, and nonetheless, as we can see with these boosts, we are practically unbeatable. Rain pretty far away, but you can see the first 30 seconds at least are dry, so no rush for our first pit stop to go to the wets. And as we can see that all our opponents are bots, so they will make pretty lousy decisions if it comes up to wets and dry tires. I do have to say the bots are becoming much more better. They're way better as well than last season, but still the decision making on the wet tires, it's a joke. Because if almost rain will be coming, they still will go on the softs, and then again horrible mistakes are being made by the bots. But again, that also gives us a small advantage and a little breather, because when we're in races like this, we do know we are making the better choices, and that will give us a slightly advantage and to give us again a small breather during the race. As we can see, a beautiful timed pit stop this will be, because the next lap it will be raining and our opponents will know so. Back to the lousy decision making. As we can see, our bot Norris is at the hard tire. Usually he will do 4 laps at this track. Henceforth, he will do so. Next lap, he will not go into the pit, as you actually should, because if you're in a hard tire, you'll know your car will practically break down during the straight, and especially in the corners. As we see now, of course, a little slight rain, so no big trouble for our opponent. But as we can see, probably Norris in the in the next lap, like let's see, corner number 4 or 5, he will fall down immediately, and our bots are finished. And as we can see, they're not making a pit stop. Only the soft tire opponents will now make a wet tire pit stop, and all the other drivers on the medium or hard tire will drive through and henceforth lose a lot of seconds, and our racers are done for today. And as you can see at P3, Norris had very big trouble coming in through the corner. Let's see what Hamilton at P5 will be doing. Also almost stopping, a little bit quicker than Norris. Norris again on the hard tire. Very big trouble here, Norris coming into the pit, losing precious seconds. Again, disregarding to us, but as you can see what the bot decision making is, because there we go. Norris is going for his 5th lap on the hard tire during this beautiful rainy conditions. And again, guys, beautiful lousy decision making right here in front of us. Norris didn't go into the pit. The bot will continue to finish these hard tires into these beautiful rainy conditions. Alright guys, we have our final pit stop here coming up, because again we have no threat behind us. Like I said, my adrenaline is very high today, so we're not taking any chances, and we're taking a very safely pit stop, as we can see. Our opponent at P3, again Norris on the hard tire, will now finally go for his well-deserved wet pit stop, and henceforth we are finishing this race at a mile away from our opponents. The fact that Norris at P3 with his hard tire is still at P3, that also shows what the rest of the field has been doing with their tires. It was dry for a second, again it's raining. These conditions again will confuse the bot intensely. I remember a race, I think 7 weeks ago, was in Catalonia. It started off dry after 10 seconds rain, and that was the entire race. Well, those bots were flying left and right with their bad decision making, and it was so enjoyable because I had again a beautiful race, and it was beautiful. It was very fun to look at. Very too bad it's not on video. All you guys would have laughed again. Let's see, guys. Again, 1 and 2. I hope all your guys are having also a good qualifying this week. I will try to post again much more content. I had a very busy last 2 days again with reforming Dutch DRS, and the team will now be formed these days. So trust me, a lot of time now on my hands, and I will focus a lot of it on YouTube. I will do a lot more boost videos. I will do a lot more videos with team scores in the range of 13, 14, 1500. And I will do everything that everybody may ask of me to show. Alright guys, let's finish this up quickly. If our bot had a little bit more race pace, we would have finished a lot quicker. Again, this is very boring, I'm sorry for that guys. Let's hope the fourth and final race will give us a real opponent in the race with a team score of 1821 or even a 1831, and let's have a hell of a competitive of a race. Of course, the real honest in me says, please, a bot with a low team score, you need that number 1 medal. I just did not say that out loud. So again, we're hoping for that, well, a good opponent. Alright guys, let's finish it up here. Oh, the medals of our opponent. Wish I had that under my belt. We're going there, we're coming, we're coming.
And it's lights out and away we go!
Alright guys, final race. Imola, rainy conditions. Let's put up again Norris. So no mistake this time intentionally we're leaving him on this track. Man guys, I had a beautiful time record last week in Austria. That was 1998. But this weekend, a teammate of mine, and I don't have his permission to share this, so I'm sorry, but he had a time of 19:18:68. That is the fastest lap time I have ever seen in F1 Clash ever. That's again 19.868. I saw it with my own eyes. It is tremendously what he did. The setup is the weirdest setup I've ever seen. It's a weird one. It's not the same as we usually do for the fastest lap. It's also with a very typical boost. And man, did he found a trick. It's tremendous. So trust me, when he will be driving his Grand Prix, guys, watch out for him because he will fly away. Alright guys, back to Imola, rainy conditions. We will put Norris the curse boost, and on Hamilton behind him. I love the voices. Quick pit stop it will give us, provide us very nice corner work, and especially on those heavy rainy conditions at the start, we will fly away. As we can see guys, our opponent at P13 and P14, let's hope for him it's not a real opponent, and as we can see it's probably a bot, and fortunately for him it is. We already had one unfortunate opponent with a very low team score who was paired up to us. Very unfortunate for him. I hope for him his matchmaking for the other matches will be significantly better. Because again guys, a 30 till 50 team score difference, that's already pretty high actually on the starting grid. But if you're talking 150 plus, that's a whole field. That's practically impossible. So again, let's hope for him he had a different set of races after me. As we can see guys, the 47 races, of the 47 points, I'm sorry, are in the pocket for today. Unless I make some mistake. I did tap it off on real wood over here. But again, this should be now becoming a very easy race. Norris here on the 2-stop strategy. Hex boosts coming in daily now because of the asset trading. I am fully maxed up already. So Hex and downforce boost every day as I like. So Norris can fly easily. And the voices boost, even though I have a K+, as you can see, I am very slow with that boost. Sorry, I did not pronounce that right. I am very greedy with that boost because this boost is tremendously good. I love to drive with Suzuka. I love it here also in Imola. I love it at Spa, especially Spa as well, and also in Hungary. It's very good. It gives you lovely corner work, and especially at tracks where every opponent is practically at the same race pace or pit stop strategy, like Hungary, rainy conditions. All drivers will pit after the 5th lap. If you will do so, you will have a better stop than everybody else because you have that very quick pit stop. And here we go, guys. We had a lot of space with Hamilton. Ooh, he missed a pit. Was I too late? Man, I need to watch this in the video, because last time, guys, I said in the video, oh my god, I am too late with Perez. I look back that video. In my perspective, I was on time, but again, it will probably be my own mistake. The computer doesn't lie, as they say. But I really thought I was at time here with Hamilton. But I was becoming to say we almost had enough for another lap. As we can see, we even had enough for another lap. So a beautiful stop here. And as we can see, it's already drying up. We have enough space, so I hope I pushed at time with Hamilton. For the soft tire, I said that very slowly because sometimes it's still changing after the pit stop. Now it doesn't. We're still on the wets. But we don't have any threat behind us, so I don't know if I want to make another pit stop. So we're going to fly with Hamilton, and let's hope he can cross the finish lane without being in any kind of trouble. But as we can see, our number 2 Hamilton is already pulling up at P5 to put him on a lap. So again, we have no trouble behind us. I am putting down my phone as we matter of speech because the problems are away. As we can see, number 1 Norris on the cursed tire is already crossing at P3 now. Tremendously speed here at Imola, and as you can see, no more risks. We are flying away for our last lap. Norris still on the dry tire, the soft compound, but as we can see, Hamilton still has a lot of his rainy conditions to fly away. And as we can see here, guys, we have put the entire field on a lap. This is not something that happens all the time, but as we can see, it looks very nicely. I spoke a little bit too soon because Norris still closing it, but as we can see, we don't want to run out of fuel, and we already put up all our fuel before. So as you can see, guys, when the computer is putting it down for you, don't put it back up. Don't put that risk. When the computer puts the fuel link down for you, stay down and keep it down for sure. As we can see, you guys, a very quick and easy finish. I do believe our opponent has to do another lap. I do hope the game will break it off already, because this has 0 point of continuing, because again, these are all bots. There is no real opponent behind the wheel. That would be actually a great addition to the game, because as you can see, we have to wait another lap until this bot has finished. If it's a real opponent, yes, of course, we're waiting. I mean, he has to finish his race, absolutely. But this is becoming ridiculous. I'm really waiting here for 3 to 5 minutes for a few bots to finish, which has absolutely no sense at all. Fortunately for you guys, you can hear me blapping about this, so hey, we have a win-win situation, right? And here we go, our opponent has finally finished his race, finally, and the bots are done. Alright guys, I am sorry, as you can see, this was not the best content of the week. Those were 4 very easy races. I do hope it helped maybe a little bit, otherwise we had a small laugh together. Again guys, I wish you all the best of luck this week. If I can do anything for you guys, please DM me and I will help you, of course. For all the guys who are still racing, stay in the race and keep up the pace.